Our first episode looks at innovation for tomorrow. Imagine the possibility of an inclusive future. Researchers at Griffith University are enhancing resilience, redefining disability, revolutionising rehabilitation, all through interdisciplinary collaboration and user-driven solutions. Join us to discover what the future might look like. Griffith University's research programs emphasise research with impact. Research that's been undertaken with specific goals and often specific communities in mind. Moving away from traditional research models centred around academia and towards practical applications of research with end users in mind helps to bring the results of that research into the community much faster.
So some of my colleagues are working with amazing technologies, and I can bridge that gap into a clinical world and into a community setting, and we can bring everyone together so people can see things differently. Sometimes they can't always see the application to impairment in the way I can, because I come from a disability sector. So the thing that I see that's most exciting is us all working together. And if we don't all work together, then we're all doing our own little thing in silos. So some of these amazing things they're developing are not going to be translated into the world where I work that will help people with impairments to live really fulfilling lives. We need to be a place where people feel that they can have a lifelong engagement with us, and we can keep bringing new information into the way we do things.
I see patients in the Habitech lab, and that lab is really about looking at different types of technology to look at different ways to do things during their rehab time. My role is to go through with patients about what they can do things differently and how they can do things differently. And the lab is, it's still developing, but we do have some resources for people to try and test out different things. I think having people with lived experiences as part of that, as the centre of that, making those decisions is something important and for us to do.
I think it's important for people with disability to be engaged within research around technologies and devices. What we do at Habitech is looking at the technologies for different sorts of disabilities and injuries. So I think it's a place where the research would be conducted in a better way.
So one of the things that Habitech provides is a lot of information about new technologies, or even technologies that are available for people with disabilities, and also for their clinicians. So it's really important for us to have a space where people feel safe and accommodated, and where they can get information about devices that are most beneficial for their condition and that can be most helpful.
Currently we know the move from research happening in, say, university, being published, the gap between the implementation of that into the real world is over a decade. And some of those reasons are because research is often developed in isolation and not in those real world contexts, that I think co-designing interventions and working together will lead to rapid translation of new technologies and new findings. Moving forward, it's valuable that research is not just about researchers doing things that are niche, that only concern their particular preferences, priorities, values and goals. What we need to do is understand what is important for the community. So that includes our partners, it includes people with lived experience, so that then we are setting up goals for research that are seen as valuable and important for society and for those who live with particular conditions we may be working with. By doing that, we really support the uptake of research in the community.
At Griffith, our greatest success is the smile and possibilities of the end user, using our research to interact with the world in a way that was not possible before. That's the Griffith difference.